Parents going on interviews and contacting employers for their kids. This is why I'm so glad I grew up in the era I grew up in because I couldn't imagine having my mom or anybody going or calling said employer on my behalf. When my first job was a paper route in eighth grade that I had before school, then I had my first grocery store job at 15. Did my mother call them and say, "Are you guys hiring?" Did she do anything to help me get that job outside of dropping me off in front of the door and going on an interview? Then I caught the bus to and from work. I didn't sit in front of screens all day, even though I had access to them. Played video games just like a regular kid. Did all the things a teenager did. But the difference between us 80s babies and this new generation is that we were extremely active. You couldn't force us to come inside until the street lights came on. And we had a certain level of, if we don't make it happen, it's not going to happen accountability that this generation doesn't have. But the sad part is that the 80s babies are raising this generation that sits in front of screens and socially have this awkwardness to them. And you wonder why they're not ready to go on a job. If you are an employer and this parent calls you saying, "Hire my kid," what red flags does that throw up where they're selling their child, but then that child has to work for you? Does that do them any favors? And then you wonder why sports is what it is with youth. You wonder why these teachers don't want to do any of this stuff. This is exactly why. They don't want to be involved with these kids because you got these parents that don't know how to parent properly and they don't hold themselves accountable for the kids that they're raising.